Hello, everyone.
I hope you're doing great and that God is protecting all of you.
My name is Amito Mitra from Uganda, Kampala, East Africa.
My name is Dad. I'm from Putnam County, Northwest Ohio, United States of America.
In today's video, Dad is going to respond to the video that Honey and I made a few days ago talking about my culture shocks in the United States of America.
Yeah, a few things I do have to cover here. Like Amito said, and she is a dear, dear family member. I love her very much. But, in the video that she went through, there were many different things that she talked about, and I felt it was important to set things straight. Mwala Mwanga.
I'm sorry, Dad.
You talked to
Mwala Wange.
Mwala Wange.
Mwala Wange.
You covered 18 different topics.
Yes.
18. That's a lot of things.
I didn't even realize. Actually, Dad told me I covered 18
I
culture shocks.
I counted them afterwards.
And yet I thought we covered like 9 or 10.
No, 18.
Okay.
So, it's too many for me to comment on. But I did take some notes on about 7 of them. And my eyes aren't quite as young as hers, so that's why I have the extra eyes here to help me refer to my notes. First off, you talked about respect.
Yeah.
And that was a positive. That all family members do for each other, and that partners consult each other before making decisions. And I think that's very important that all family members respect each other. I hope that that's something that is a quality in the United States that we don't lose.
But someone else in the comment section, I read a few comments of other Americans saying that, oh, Amito, you shouldn't generalize. There's some Americans who do not have respect for their family members, for their partners, and hide so much from them. And
well, I was going to say that was the comment that I had is about sharing with your partners. That doesn't always happen, but it is, I think, something that's very important for the relationship between a good couple. So I truly hope that that's something that for you and Steve that can continue for the rest of your lives together.
Sure.
Now, you were pleasantly surprised, and I'm kind of quoting, but not exactly quoting, but you were pleasantly surprised that white people are loving. And that, I guess that what I would say is that, like any good society, people need to be loving. People see, or at least they should see, the value that another person has. And that value should be who they are inside, irrespective of what they look like on the outside. I do think that because you're a loving person yourself, you're going to receive a lot of love from people that you encounter. Now, there are going to be people that aren't going to always share that love. But that's a reality, I think, everywhere. But hopefully not something that you have to encounter all the time.
Sure. And I think I say that because it is the narrative we have back home where I come from that I'm sorry, I'm going to say white people because that's how we call you back home. So the society is always saying, especially people who come from abroad, I think maybe give us a wrong impression of what it is like this side. Oh, these people are so selfish. They are all by themselves. They don't want to know about other people. They will never show you love, whether you're their neighbor or workmate or whoever. So I had that coming as like, I know the only people that really care about me is Honey, Mom, and Dad, Grace, Beth, like our family. But seeing all the people that have been showing me love changed everything I knew before.
Well, for the Americans out there, no matter what color, that's the challenge that you have. Show that love. Show not just to Amito, of course I want that, but to each other, and make American society be somebody that's seen around the world as a loving society. I will say what you were saying about not necessarily knowing your neighbors. There is some truth to that, but hopefully it's, again, not something that can't be overcome. Pets. Okay, I'm going to ask my nieces to cover your ears. And you nieces that are maybe watching this, you know who I'm talking about. This is a sad but true statement that Amito had. Now, let me go back and say, if you haven't watched the previous video where my dear daughter-in-law covered 18, did I say 18 things already?
Yes, 18.
18 different things that she was surprised about. Go back and watch that video so this one makes more sense.
Yeah.
But yes, we spend a lot of money and we spend a lot of time on our pets. In my opinion, maybe a little bit too much. I know that some people can spend thousands of dollars on the surgery for your animals, for your pets, in those special hospitals. And again, does that mean that all animals are not worth putting some money into? No, I think they are sometimes, but we need to have our priorities straight. But that's a sad but true reality of how much money is spent on pets. Food.
So, Dad, before you leave the pets issue,
you're gonna respond to my response?
Oh,
no. It's okay. It's okay.
So, why do you think so many Americans? Because I saw a comment on that video saying that some of them actually take care of their pets more than they do to other human beings. Do you think that is true, and why do you think it is that way?
I think some of that comes down to the connections that a person has. So, going back to my comment earlier about loving, if you can show love to other people, you'll get that love back. I think it's easy because, the dog, I don't want to say her name because otherwise she'll jump on our lap. But pets love affection. Most pets love affection. And that it's easy to get that feeling of happiness from them. It takes more work with another human, and you don't always get the way that you want. But I think sometimes it's easy for a human, and it doesn't have to be an American, a human just to say, I'm going to go the easy way. I'm going to interact with a pet, and then the pet can't talk back to me, so of course the pet loves everything I say. But yeah, I think some people do put more energy into their pets than other people.
Okay.
Again, change that one. Food. Not all food is frozen. You've been hanging around me too much.
Yes, Dad.
Because I go out to the freezer and I'll put the pre-cooked food in the microwave. Now, when the weather's warmer, that's when I'll get the grill, and then I'm comfortable cooking on the grill outside, just not so comfortable in the kitchen. But there are plenty of people. Mom is one of them. Steve's older sister. When you get to be at her house, you will see that there are many Americans that just love to not just cook food, but prepare healthy meals. And you'll be amazed at the things that people can come up with. It won't be exactly what you've been accustomed to, but there are lots of people that can do wonders with fresh food and insist on fresh food. And that's something, again, we can't lose track of here in the U.S.
Okay.
Comment? No comment?
No comments.
All right. All right.
My subscribers and viewers will help me challenge you in the comment section.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, but I still believe the majority of Americans, and as much as there is a percentage of them that do cook from scratch, I believe the majority who are maybe very busy do it.
Yes. So I was just looking at my notes, and yes, it's convenience and time that's involved. So the convenience factor, absolutely, by cooking, using pre-cooked food, that makes a difference, and that it can take less time, even to clean up,
Okay.
which does go on a little bit about the plastics, but I'm not going to talk about the plastics.
Honey, do you have a comment on the plastics?
They're out there. There's a lot of plastics floating around.
Because you're the master of plastics.
Thank you.
You talked about parents retiring. I would love for families to be physically closer together, because I think that would make it easier for families to help in that intergenerational caring. And I also think that there would be an aspect that if there's closer people living closer physically, and then there were more family members to share the load, and that things weren't so expensive, I think we might see more of that happening. But the economic reality has been, I would say, in the U.S. happening since World War II, where, and especially, I would say even more so in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the work that somebody finds is going to be distant from their
Parents
parents and their family. I mean, I moved a 2-hour car drive away, auto drive, which is pretty close in the U.S. But because there wasn't anything really for me to be able to find in the small town where I grew up. But also depending upon the job that you have, Steve's older sister and her husband, they live in a third of the way across the country. So a 22-hour car drive. And there, again, wouldn't be the type of jobs that they would be looking for in this area necessarily. So some of it comes down to a lot of economics. But that would be another sad thing that I wish could change, that and the pets. I love the pets. Don't comment about the fact that I don't love pets. I do love pets.
So initially, my challenge was if parents are older. Now I'll give an example. If parents are older, maybe Honey and I are staying 22 hours away from you, and you are in a position where you cannot even drive, you can't take care of yourselves. That would be two options. Either the two of us come and buy a house close to you, or you sell your house and come closer to us so that
Right.
we can easily take care of you. That was much. I wasn't saying that people should leave their jobs and completely take care of their parents, because at the end of it all, they need to earn a living and take care of their families. So my only worry was maybe the children here. It looks like the children here, based on the stories I've heard or the people I've talked to, it looks like it's not even an option to have your parents live where they're staying and sell that house and buy a house closer to you.
The other thing is that we're a country that has 340 or 350 million people. So there's going to be a lot of people that have a lot of different experiences. I guess the temptation of money does make people do things that maybe changes their value system compared to 50 or 100 years ago. But the there are plenty of examples of families that will take care of each other, but there's going to be some examples where then it might not even be, I'll say, physically reasonable to take care of a parent if the parent has special health needs. So I don't think you're talking about those scenarios, but yeah, I would love to see where families could be closer in proximity when the parents are older.
Yeah.
When I turn 80 and I'm driving and you take my keys away because
You
I shouldn't
can't
be
drive
driving
at
anymore.
80. Yeah.
I might be driving at 80.
I don't think so.
I won't tell her. Churches. Just a quick comment on this. You said churches are contented.
Yeah. You don't believe that?
I've never met a pastor in my life that would not accept donations to come into their place of worship.
Okay. Even when they have the most?
I've never met a pastor in my life that said their place of worship, their church, their synagogue, their mosque has all the money they need. So I think your friend is an exception there.
Maybe it's just a few churches.
And good on, mate. That's all I have to say there. For the 3 Australians that are watching out there.
So whatever you've said is going to make the Ugandan pastors feel better, because I think they thought they were doing something wrong. So it seems the whole world is just like that.
Not the whole world. No. Not the whole world.
Okay.
Timekeeping, my last comment.
Yeah.
Timekeeping.
Yes.
Yes, we're not on African time here. I was told about African time before we had the opportunity to meet.
Yes.
But it's a challenge for some people, myself included. My wife would say that I still have a hard time always showing up on time.
Okay.
And the not so funny joke with my friends is that they plan on having my funeral, having me show up 5 minutes late for my own funeral. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of that one. But those are my thoughts. So I hope that surprises are more happy for you than any sort of culture shocks or things that amaze you in a positive way. Again, extremely happy to have you here with us.
Dad, what advice do you have for any other, not only Ugandan, but probably Africans coming to the US or any other country that is like the US, with a totally different culture than what we have or what we experience in Africa? Because people come with a totally different mind, and when they get here, they get shocked, they get overwhelmed and all that. But maybe you have a word or two for them.
So you can't, a fact that maybe, I know I've told you, but I like bragging about it. My wife and I lived overseas. We lived in France for 2 years, about 30 years ago. And it is going to be a culture shock. And even that was going from, I'll say, a Western style culture to another Western style culture. But it was still, there's things that a person's going to be surprised by. Always have an open mind. Know that it's not personal. Or if somebody does say something personal, then know that that's not the common characteristic of that country. But just be open-minded about when you come here. Look for the things that will give you enjoyment. Because there's another thing about the United States is I truly do feel it's a land of opportunity to find those things that can make you happy. So find other people that you can interact with and enjoy. Don't just become a circle of people that you're comfortable with. Be out there, but know that there's always positive things that you can surround yourself with, and that it'll be okay.
Thank you so much, Dad. Talking about that, I know we are coming to an end, but that gave me a better feel coming here because I remember you talking to me that way when I came, and especially when I talked about racism. And I started having a positive mind of, I mean, I am who I am.
Right.
So if someone hates me for how I look or my color, it's still not going to change anything about me. And that has really kept me going. Good enough. I haven't experienced any of those. We are always out and about with Honey, but nobody, maybe they don't show it, but nobody has really treated me that way. And I'm glad, but I feel like most of it is because I do not give them an ear. I don't care what other people think of me, and that has helped me going.
Yeah. You got to.
Yes. Woo! You see that?
You going to show off now?
I thought you were contributing to what we are
That
talking
took
about.
me 35 minutes. Here,
No,
go ahead
it's
and
okay.
show
Don't
them.
bring it here.
Just show them.
We had to put it on.
The fruits of my labor. You have to explain the
Oh
fiasco
my
that
goodness.
just occurred.
So I wanted to wear this necklace for this video, but it was, what do they say that?
Tangled.
It was
to
tangled,
the nth
right?
degree.
It was so tangled that I personally gave it like 7 minutes and gave up.
Because
so,
it's like 3 necklaces in one, and I thought it was separate, but it's actually just one.
yeah, and I gave it to her, Honey, and for all, how many hours are these? I mean, minutes are these? Over 20 minutes. We have been having this conversation with all of you, and Honey was
He's been
just
sitting right there. Right there.
doing that, and he was mad. Did you see that, Dad? He was mad.
He was
doing it.
focused. He was focused on his job.
For God and for country.
Thank you, Honey.
All right.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
this will give you more opportunity. I will say this. Please kindly comment in the comment section for Amito. She reads them all. I don't read them all. Okay, I do read a few of them.
Dad reads all of them.
No, I don't
He
read all of
reads them more than I do.
I do read a few of them.
And sometimes he tells me about your comments before I even
But
see
I will
them.
say Namotovu Carol 1835,
Yeah.
or at Namotovu Carol 1835, and at Lisandra67.
That's Namatovu Carol, 1835.
Yeah.
Lisandra.
Namatu, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Thank you for those nice comments. And Nalongo at Nalongo
So,
2567.
do you know what Nalongo is?
You told me one time.
What is it?
Oh, I thought that was not what that is.
Yes.
Okay. So she must be mothers of 2 twins.
Yeah, because she's Nalongo.
Anyways, you're very lucky, Nalongo. Nalongo at Nalongo 2567. You are correct about Steve. And you know where a son gets his good looks from. It would have to be the father.
True, I agree. I agree.
So, may God bless you. And may God bless you abundantly.
Amen. We love you so much. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video that we just did with Dad. Show so much love to Dad. He's been so supportive of my channel, and I do not take that for granted. Thank you so much, Dad.
That's what.
May God bless you
Well, may God bless you abundantly too.
Amen. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Of course, Dad will not be in my next video, but we love you so much. May God take care of you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.